Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Stretch D, Best and Sora. We back at it with another video. Today we are reacting to the worst character, Shikimaru. Now,
it's why Kishimoto hated Rider Shikimaru. That's what it's called. But in the thumbnail, it said worst character.
Yeah.
So it could be clickbait. Which I kind of hope it is. I ain't gonna lie. Shikimaru's my goat.
We're gonna see. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, share, family and friends, try and get our channel movement. This is our family movement, and let's get started.
Uploaded every day December.
Shikimaru was Kishimoto's least favorite character to write. Not because he didn't enjoy the character himself, or because the character was annoying, and not even because of the character development that Shikimaru went on. No, the reason why Shikimaru was a nightmare to Kishimoto was because of the character's mechanics. More specifically, how Shikimaru's fights worked. Shikimaru is one of the most intelligent characters in the Naruto series, and his fights should showcase that. It was his entire shtick, fighting very strategic fights, and beating his opponents by sheer intelligence. The problem is that whenever you come up with a very cool way for Shikimaru to win the fight, the next time he fights, you're gonna have to come up with something even more clever. And that's something hard to do that also takes time for you to develop properly. Not only have to come up with
so
a very
it's saying, basically, his, like you said, the least favorite character to write, because he gotta come up with all this technical shit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Strategy for Shikimaru to come up with, but you also need to come up with the powers of his opponents, powers that will synergize well with Shikimaru's abilities in order to make the fights very strategic. Yeah. So creating interesting scenarios and interesting powers to interact with Shikimaru's powers was not something Kishimoto loved doing. Well, he may have loved the results, but the process was very hard. Shikimaru was supposed to win the Chunin exam's final round. He was going to win the tournament. That was Kishimoto's original intention, but his editor told him to cut the Chunin exam short.
Now that I know that, he better than all y'all goats, man. Strongest of the Konoha 12. Fuck Naruto, fuck Sasuke, fuck Gaara, fuck all them, man.
If Shikimaru has to fight 3 fights and win all 3 of them to pass the Chunin exams by winning the tournament, then each subsequent fight will have to be more strategic and clever than the other one. Which may be an unfair bar for Kishimoto to put on himself, but that's how he felt. He needed to one-up the previous fights that Shikimaru had with his next one. And he came up with some very interesting...
Obviously, I feel like you don't gotta do that every time, though. You don't gotta one-up it. But yeah, show smartness every fight, obviously, but you ain't gotta one-up the shit every fucking fight.
It can be some simple shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Every single major Shikimaru fight has a catch, and it's very interesting to dissect how Kishimoto came up with those abilities. The first time we ever see Shikimaru fighting is in the Forest of Death, but it's not a 1v1 fight. He fights with his team against the Sound Team, and honestly, he doesn't do a whole lot. He wasn't even the leader of his squadron at that point. Inu was leading them. That's part of Shikimaru's character development. He didn't want to push himself too hard, he didn't want the responsibilities of leadership, but he eventually learns those things in the end of Naruto Part 1 when he fails to retrieve Sasuke with his team. But that first fight wasn't exactly a masterpiece from Shikimaru. He just used a Shadow Possession a couple of times and didn't do anything too genius with it. But you start to see a little bit more of his intellect with his first 1v1 fight, which is his fight against Kin in the preliminaries of the Chunin exams. Now, as far as Shikamaru fights go, this one is very simple. It is his first fight, and you get a glimpse. This guy is a good strategist, but he doesn't feel like a genius or anything. Shikamaru deduces what Kin is doing by tossing needles with and without bells in order to confuse his senses, and he manages to catch her with a Shadow Possession Jutsu using the Wire's Shadow, which was pretty clever, and then he bumps her head against the wall via the Shadow Possession and wins the fight. And the fight is...
That is kinda crazy, though. The Wire Shadow. I promise you no other Naruto character would ever thought about that. Like, with his ability...
maybe his pops.
Maybe his pops, but other than that, I don't think anybody else would have thought about that. Like, I could never see Sasuke thinking of some shit like that.
I can't either. Yo, you know people were hating on Shikamaru becoming the Hokage?
Why?
Because they wanted Sakura. They thought Sakura would be better fit for Hokage.
Who?
What?
Who?
They thought Sakura would be a better fit for Hokage over my goat Shikamaru.
Who is that?
A lot of people. A lot of people.
Like who? I don't know. First off.
Hold on, wait. Separate video. Separate video.
Ain't no way you just said that.
We in this one right now. You can go off topic. we could go on that ramble, man.
Bro, ain't no way you said Sakura would be a better pick than Shikamaru. Shikamaru is practically the Hokage anyways.
That's what people were saying, man. Hold on. Okay. I know one of the videos.
He's practically the Hokage already. He does most of Naruto's technical shit. Plus, he always giving Naruto a plan. You're right, separate video.
Okay, I was pulling. He was one of them. This isn't that video, but he was one of them. I remember him being one.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Watch the video.
Established that he is not completely invincible. Otherwise, Shikamaru wouldn't have thrown that shuriken in order to...
Sakura? Nah.
Hey, bitch. Fuck you! I'm mad!
Sakura!
I already got over my rage about this shit, bro.
Nah! Sakura!
I was mad as a bitch.
Sakura! Like, no, don't get me wrong. I don't hate it. I don't hate Sakura as much as everybody does. Yeah, she wasn't as, she didn't do, throughout Shippuden, she wasn't that bad. Except for when she told Naruto that she loves him. That's where everybody hated her. But, she's not Hokage material at all.
Their argument was that she was stronger. That's what, and like her medical jutsu was like, better than Tsunade's. That's what some of their arguments was. I don't remember every argument. I ain't seen this shit in years. But
so, because she can heal niggas and she's super strong. What about?
She's also smart as shit, even though she's not Shikamaru smart. She's not like, you know what I'm saying.
Majority of the time, Sakura had help in any battle that she won.
I think Shikamaru's my favorite character. I'm not arguing for Sakura. I'm not about to sit here arguing for Sakura. Shikamaru should have been Hokage. We're talking about the greatest strategists of all time, of all the villages.
Bro came up with a plan to switch the tides of the war. Like, what are we talking about here? That's a general.
Yeah. And again, he was literally Naruto's right hand, pretty much.
Right.
So he already knew how this shit ran.
Right. So what are we talking about here? Sakura chased the nigga that tried to kill her 3 times.
This is supposed to be reaction, but we gonna go off topic because I think that's my main gripe with Sakura. Like, I'm a huge personality and characters guy. Your personality is loving Sasuke, chasing Sasuke, and Sasuke, at least, because apparently in the manga they did it was done better, but at least in the anime, which is how most of us have consumed Naruto, respectfully, no, you know what I'm saying, they didn't build anything to where I felt like it should be a relationship where Sakura should be chasing this man. Never did that shit.
Sasuke didn't even care about the bitch.
Again, apparently in the manga it was nothing better, but
I didn't.
We both watched the anime, so fuck that. You know what I'm saying?
Respectfully.
Yeah, because you can't be mad at us for how we consumed the fucking series.
We weren't reading manga at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
See that the shadow possession can be very tricky, and Shikamaru can use several other shadows in order to extend his own. And that's the thing about Shikamaru's shadow possession and his overall abilities. They are simple in effect, but there are several ways he can use them. If you look at Shikamaru's arsenal, even when he is in Naruto Shippuden and has all those new jutsus, he has the shadow possession, which he can control somebody else. He has a shadow strangulation jutsu, which he can use the shadows to, choke people. And then he has the shadow needles, which he can use to pierce targets, toss kunais, even hold some things with a shadow like a tendril. But as far as jutsus go, there isn't a whole lot you can do with them. So Shikamaru has to do a lot of thinking in order to implement his abilities properly. And Kishimoto also needs to do a lot of thinking in order for
I feel like me personally, Shikamaru would be one of the funnest characters to
Correct.
Yeah, because it's like, you gotta use your imagination. He's one of those characters, you have to use your imagination.
Yeah.
You can't just go off basic principles.
And when you see writing some cool shit or saying some cool shit as like a reader or watcher, it's like the creative shit done in Sakamoto days.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Facts. Like seeing, we've seen Sakamoto beat somebody ass with a pen, a sticker, and some coupons.
Yeah, he blinded. He flicked the lead out of the pencil into the one dude's eye. He threw a sticker at the other eye and blinded him and started whooping his ass with coupons. That's some creative ass shit.
Bro, block bullets with hangers. Use a vacuum to put it on the nigga head and drag him.
Yeah.
Like, bro, using regular household items, that's the type of creativity I like. Shikamaru it's not like, ain't nothing crazy like that. But
still, you get the point.
Yeah.
Creativity.
Like he said, his shadow ability is very limited to what he can do.
But Shikamaru always finds something.
Yeah, some type of way to get out of a situation.
To just get everything up, because usually he has to paralyze him.
Yeah.
He always gets that shit off. Always. The problem is his chakra. He always get the shit off. About to kill you. Chakra.
Because if bro had this, the amount,
he lost that fight.
Like if bro had the amount of chakra that Naruto has, it would be no problem. Excluding Kurama.
Yeah.
Like, he would be a problem.
Like, just Uzumaki chakra.
Yeah, he would be a fucking problem.
Yeah. So he was already a problem. No, he wasn't. He was like every... Man, that's my... Because, he didn't win this fight. Tamari came and saved him.
Yeah. But you can say the same thing about,
literally everyone in this arc. Yeah, literally everyone. But still...
Kiba, too. Because Kanjuro...
Kiba's a bum. Matter of fact... That's Akamaru's sidekick. Okay? I'll be forgetting. I'll let you call him Kiba. Don't call him that shit no more. It's Akamaru's sidekick.
So Kiba the dog.
He's a sidekick.
That's crazy.
He ain't gotta be a dog, but he...
To come up with very clever tactics for a character whenever the character has a lot of abilities in arsenal, so you can pull off all sorts of combos. But when the character is limited like Shikamaru, in terms of his abilities, then you have to think a lot about the environment of the fight, about the...
I do agree with what you said earlier. Like, it could really just be a lot more fun having to think about that shit. Because it's something you also usually don't have to do. So now you get, you know what I'm saying, that you're going to do something different with your story.
And you could, see how far you can take it.
Yeah.
Like, nobody thought Shikamaru was going to use... Shikamaru beat an immortal.
Yeah.
Which...
Mind you, I don't think anyone else could actually beat Hidan.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else would have been able to come up with.
Well, Hidan's really, once you take away,
but I do get his point where he says it's kind of like a situational thing, because they just happen to be where the fucking Nara clan, fucking little thing is at.
It's just more complicated, kid. Yeah. He's saying. Kishimoto probably ain't writing him like that because it's harder. Yeah. You really do gotta think about everything.
It is harder, but I also see it as a way to come up with new ideas. Because that idea an idea, let's just say, an idea about for instance, a character like Shikamaru, and you gotta find a way to use his smarts along with his ability to make it not so limited.
Yeah,
that could also help you in the long run for another character.
Yeah,
because the creativity, you can be like, damn, I could not the exact same thing, but I could implement this.
Also, with this limited arsenal shit, limited moves. Respectfully, the main character had a limited amount of moves. I think Kishimoto liked that shit. He had Shadow Clone Jutsu, Rasengan, and Advanced Rasengan, Rasen Shuriken. That's what he had.
Yeah.
A lot of that, And he came up with creative shit to get that Rasengan off every fucking time.
Fuck.
So I respectfully, I think Kishimoto like it. I think and Shikamaru is one of the best characters in the series. I think Kishimoto like that shit.
Simple stuff.
Yeah, that he liked to have to think about the shit and to get shit off. Cause he had to think of how the fuck is Naruto gonna get this Rasengan off?
Yeah.
Cause this opponent right here, they know he got the Rasengan already. They know he got Shakulan Jutsu.
Hold on, Rasengans don't work.
How Sasuke? I already did. What you already? you have faith in your leader.
Opponent, how the opponent's abilities are going to interact, and this is one of the reasons why it was so difficult for Kishimoto to write Shikamaru. Against Temari is a completely different beast. It's in that fight that we get introduced to the concept that Shikamaru is an absolute genius when it comes to strategy, and it's one of those fights you just think, wow, this was really well thought out. He quits in the end, but he catches Temari with his shadow possession because of the environment surrounding them. We understand this is going to be a long-range fight, so essentially Temari only needed to be a long-range fighter for this fight to work, because the environment is going to do the rest when it comes to Shikamaru's strategy. It's first, he obviously retreats to the shadow side of the arena where he can use more of his shadow possession and extend his shadow further, and also to get some cover from Temari's wind style, obviously. He launches his shadow possession, and Temari understands that there is a limit for its range, which she marks on the ground. A few moments later, Shikamaru launches it again, and Temari is almost caught off guard because the shadow advances past the limit, because the sun is setting behind Shikamaru and the wall is making a greater shadow, so Shikamaru can extend his own shadow further. But Temari also understands that, so Shikamaru has to come up with a different way to extend his shadow, and then he uses his little vest. He creates this parachute, which he launches upward, and that creates a small shadow, which his shadow exiting the shadow from the wall can reach, and then extend further because that shadow is providing its extra shadow for it. And shadows up until then...
See, the thing about Shikamaru, in this fight, he had already beat Temari. He had already beat her in his head. He even said he said, I had about, he was like, I was like 200 more steps ahead or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, I already had another plan thought out for you.
He had said he was running. He had the chakra to
Yeah, that was the only reason. His chakra supply.
He get home, man.
Yeah, that was kind of some bullshit too. Why is chakra supply? I think Shikamaru low key
might got the worst chakra supply out here. Other than Akamaru Psychic, because I don't even know he be using chakra.
Yeah, he be using chakra, but he don't never run out.
Yeah, but it's not like Shikamaru also constantly using it. You know what I'm saying? Like Shikamaru don't be Shikamaru. Not saying he don't got hands, but he don't be like taijutsu for real.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Point was a fake out. He was only leading Temari to where he wanted her to be. Because Temari hides behind her fan as she plans on baiting Shikamaru with a clone, but she is caught from behind. Turns out Shikamaru used the whole Naruto made of the ground to catch Neji in the previous fight in order to extend his shadow further and catch Temari completely from behind. So what he was doing before, by waiting the shadow of the wall to extend and also creating his parachute to extend his shadow even further, was all for the purposes of directing
and the thing,
Temari.
see, the fact that Kishimoto kept that shit in mind, I really do think Kishimoto like doing that shit. Because, as I said, your main character, you can say has its own problems. Yeah. But, yeah, for you to just be like, hey.
Who would have thought that the whole from 2 fights ago? Yeah.
And the thing is that means Kishimoto was probably really thinking ahead, right? It was like, I could use this for that one character. Yeah. Or he had already planned on having Shikamaru use that somehow. So to think that far ahead is ridiculous. It's great. Yeah,
that is ridiculous. I ain't gonna. That's a ridiculous feat.
Hell yeah,
that's a crazy feat. All right.
Yeah, because a lot of times with writing, a lot of the shit can be improvising too. But
to the hole Naruto had created so that Shikamaru could catch her and finish the fight. And what Kishimoto accomplishes here with Shikamaru is astounding, because the dude has one jutsu in his arsenal. The shadow possession is all he has, and somehow this fight feels so energetic and smart because of how Shikamaru uses his environment to his advantage. And the entire thing about the sun setting, the vast parachute thingy, as well as Naruto's hole in the ground, had to be planned out in advance for this fight. You really feel like he's a strategic genius, even though he has just one jutsu, prints with the stakes and also with himself to mimic the other humans, and then he catches them in the shadow possession. Now, admittedly, he didn't have much else to do in that situation because he was out of chakra, but Asuma saves him. And that's when you really see the character had a lot of limitations here, because he caught almost the entire enemy squadron with his shadow possession, and he could just delay them there. The character needed a little bit more in his arsenal to keep fresh, otherwise Kishimoto would have to invent all sorts of weird things in the environment for every single Shikamaru fight. It's very believable in the Chunin exams against Himari, but if every time Shikamaru is gonna fight there's gonna be a very exotic, weird thing in the environment for him to win the fight, then it wouldn't feel as believable. Tayuya is a very interesting opponent. She uses sound to control those large summons. The large summons can spit those ghosts that suck chakra off of you. She has auditory genjutsu, but one of the interesting things is that she is also a long-ranged fighter, which is pretty much all he's faced so far. He's only going to face a more short-range fighter in Naruto Shippuden when he faces Hidan. The thing Shikamaru had to overcome in the fight was to understand how Tayuya was controlling those massive summons of hers, and Shikamaru manages to memorize her fingers' movements in order to predict the movements of her summons. But, well, this is not that difficult to write, because sure, you can just say, well, the character memorized those things because he's intelligent. It's much harder to come up with a very intelligent strategy for Shikamaru to counter Tayuya's abilities, and he definitely does. He comes up with something even more intricate than what he did against Himari, and that's exactly what Kishimoto wanted to do. He always wants to one-up Shikamaru's strategic prowess in his fights. So in this fight, he's literally counting how many kunais and shurikens and paper bombs and flashbangs he has on his ninja pouch, because summons, after Shikamaru memorizes her finger movements, he starts to toss the kunais in several different directions, hitting some of the kunais on the forest, forcing Tayuya's summons to block a few of the kunais, but the positioning of the kunais was all to make sure Tayuya would attack Shikamaru the correct way for him. She launches a direct assault, but Shikamaru had tossed a kunai with a flashbang beforehand, and he uses that flashbang that's behind Tayuya's summons to extend their shadows so Shikamaru could simply connect his shadow to theirs without even having to use the shadow possession jutsu to extend his shadow forward, because the shadows from the summons are extending towards him. Shikamaru gains control of the three summons and attacks Tayuya, but obviously Tayuya just unsummons them. By the he has to do better.
That was the issue.
Maybe it's different in the manga. In the anime, they're like
he runs out of chakra too fast.
In the anime, she was getting strangled, and he was like, "Oh shit, I'm about to run out of chakra." And
he has to be a more effective.
It was kind of a stalemate
work
at that point,
into his training and things like that, really because obviously he had to use.
I think we get the gist of it. I ain't heard. I'm seeing.
Yeah. All right. So you want me to wrap the video?
Yeah.
Alright, y'all, like and subscribe. We try to post daily in December. Hopefully we succeed. We're recording this before then. And yeah, peace out.
We're gonna catch y'all later.